What's going on, guys? It's your boy Chris here. Not going to take too long on this video. I just want to give some quick thoughts about some stuff that's been going on in the world of wrestling of late. I know it's been a while since I've done one of these types of videos on wrestling, but the past week there's been some stuff going on. First thing I want to touch on is the first thing that happened this week that I really saw and had a reaction to, and that is the Maxxine Dupri situation and the booing that happened with her at wherever that event took place. This is going to be controversial. Some people are going to get mad at me for saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Maxxine Dupri is not good in the ring, okay? She's not. I'm sorry. I know she's cute. She's got a great personality, in the storylines and stuff that they give her to do. But she's not good in the ring. And I don't see her getting better in the ring. And you know what? That's okay. Because they can make her a manager or something like that for the Alpha Academy, and she would flourish in that role. When she was the manager for Maximum Male Models, she was great in that role. And that's part of why they put her in Alpha Academy and made her a wrestler. Because they saw something in her personality that they wanted her to get more out there. So they put her in the ring. And it's not the right move. And it's no knock on her. It's not her fault that she's not good in the ring. She was probably never supposed to be an in-ring talent. But because she got so over, they decided to kind of go for it. And, hey, she's getting over. We're going to put her in the ring. And it was a mistake. It's been a mistake. I remember doing that Royal Rumble watch along with the Bayou Geeks. And she did a head scissors takedown. And myself and Dirk were sitting there dying laughing because everybody's kind of on different delays or whatever. But we saw it. And I started fucking dying. Like, oh my God, did you guys see that? And when he saw it, he busted out laughing. And everybody else saw it like, holy shit. And then she did it again. And it was like the worst head scissor takedown. And she did it twice. And it was a mile an hour. And I was just like, dude, this is not good. Like, we were dying. Like, if you go to that watch along, you'll see where I lose it. And then Dirk loses it. And then Gary loses it. And then everyone else starts laughing at it because they're like, oh my God. Because it's that funny. So all of us, we're just cracking up laughing. But, and like I said, I have nothing against Maxxine Dupri. Nothing against her. But some people are better suited for other roles than being in-ring talent. She's one of those people, and that's okay. Put her in a spot where she can shine. Don't put her in a spot where she's going to get booed because she's not good. And for the record, if someone pays to go to a show and they see a bad match, they have a right to boo. They have a right to cheer or boo as they please. If people booed her because she put on a stinker of a match, then that's not on. It's not even really her fault. You know what I'm saying? It's not. So there's that. But if people have a right to boo or cheer as they please because they paid to go to the show. So if you don't like that, I don't know what to fucking tell you. all the white knighting and all that shit for her, I don't whatever. If y'all want a white knight and, dick ride for her, then that's cool, but you're not helping her get better because she's not getting better. The best thing that they could do is put her in a position where she was successful, and that's back as a manager because she flourished in that role. And she was great in that role. Next topic on hand is AEW Revolution. And I want to talk about this. There are a couple things I want to talk about. The first thing I want to talk about is the Bryan Danielson-Eddie Kingston match. A lot of people are going to say, oh my God, it was great. No, it wasn't. It was some knockoff All Japan 1990 shit. And it wasn't good. I'm sorry. I love Eddie Kingston, okay? I love Eddie Kingston. He's a guy, he reminds me of, if I were a wrestler, I'd probably go out there being real as shit like he is. The man, he has, the crowd eating out of his hand. He's got this charisma that has people going along with him. Even though his matches are Kawada 1990 shit with the rapid fire chops and the King's Road strong style shit that he does. And then Bryan Danielson's Bryan Danielson. It goes without saying, he's one of the best wrestlers to ever do it. But this match was not good. It went on way too long. There was too much All Japan shit. And it just didn't work. Sorry, it didn't. The next thing I want to talk about is the main event of the night. Obviously, Sting's last match, him and Darby Allin against the Young Bucks. I'm going to say something that's going to shock people. I'm going to give the Young Bucks credit. They did the right thing last night, and they put the right thing above their egos and their usual bullshit by putting over Sting and Darby Allin. I've been a Sting fan since I was a kid. I remember him as a bleach blonde guy. I remember him at, the Surfer Sting. I remember him when he first started growing his hair out. Then him painting his face white and black. Then him coming out with the crow look. Even though he says he never saw the crow. But I think Scott Hall showed him the crow and said, dude, you should do this. And it worked. Scott Hall, may he rest in peace, had a mind for the business that we never got to really fully see for various reasons. But he apparently that was his idea. And look what happened. The Crow Sting, main event Mafia Sting, with my boy Scott Steiner. Oh, God. Oh, Scott with Black Booker T and Kevin Nash's Chet Lemon and Black Snow. Booker T calling his matches, calling his beat down. He's hitting him, he's going to hit him in the chest. Oh, all that shit. The funeral for Aces and Eights that they did that had me in tears. I fucking loved, Joker Sting. That shit was great. To when he finally came to WWE. And we all thought he was going to get the long-awaited match with The Undertaker that we never got. Granted, they wrestled back in NWA/WCW way back when he was Mean Mark Callis and he was Sting with Sting. But it's not the same thing as Undertaker versus Sting. And for whatever fucking reason, they didn't, excuse me, they didn't give us that match. But we got Hunter versus Sting. And then DX came out, and then the NWO came out, which made no sense because Sting was always fighting the NWO. Even when he joined the Wolfpack, he was fighting the black and white NWO because the Wolfpack was baby faces. Didn't make any fucking sense to him having to retire because of the spinal stenosis, to him showing up in AEW. And I'm going to give AEW credit. They handled Sting about as well as you possibly could, given his age. Now, I will say I'm not a fan of Sting Jack. I didn't like him doing all the crazy dives and shit. But he had a little bit left in the tank. A lot left in the tank, actually. He went another 3 years. And Sting got to go out on his own terms. And AEW handled it masterfully. They handled it perfectly. That was a send-off he always should have gotten. The video package, him sitting in the theater watching his career, him saying at Showtime one last time, let's do this. His kids as Surfer Sting and NWO Wolfpack Sting walking him down to the ring, them doing their stinger splashes even though they didn't look that great. Who cared? They're his kids. They're not actual wrestlers. I don't think they're going to get into wrestling. But if they do, they're big as fuck already, so they could do it. But them doing stinger splash on the Young Bucks and all that shit, and Sting getting submission at whichever one of the fucking Bucks it was. I don't know if it was Matt or Nick, and I don't care. He tapped him after the Scorpion Deathlock, and that was perfect. And he goes out a champion. And as a Sting fan, I loved it. It was my favorite match on that whole show last night. Period. Even though the title match with Samoa Joe, Swerve, and Adam Page was really good. Samoa Joe retained. Roderick Strong is your new international champion. Thank God that belt's off Orange Cassidy. Now we can get some time off. Please get him off my TV. Please. Please get him out of there. And Kyle O'Reilly came back looking like a meth head. I mean, he looked like he hadn't slept in months. Like, he looked bad. Like, he looked like the people that Rock was talking about in Arizona, in Phoenix, going home and smoking some more crack. That's what he looked like last night. He did not look well. Now, I know he had serious surgery, and I hope he's okay. Speaking of I hope he's okay, Will Ospreay. Holy shit, that looked bad. Like, if you saw that media scrum afterward, his back or whatever, his lower right side looks fucked up. He hit that shit hard. And now to the thing that I hated saying last night. And that's Darby Allin being a fucking dumbass. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. But in case you were living under a fucking rock, Darby did a dive off a ladder through two sheets of a sheet of glass and some fucking chairs last night. Like, cut his back all up. And I'm just going to ask a simple question to Darby Allin. Have you seen Nick Mondo and how he cut the artery in his back and almost bled to death? Dumbass. Fucking dummy. Like, he's not going to make it to 30. And if he is 30, he's not going to make it to 35. And the dummy deserves it at this point because he's being fucking stupid. Also, he can also go fuck himself for having the balls to say what he said about Kurt Angle the other day. Yeah, I saw that. Look, as far as that goes, calling Kurt Angle a little bitch because he didn't wrestle the guy he wanted to wrestle, there's a reason he didn't wrestle the guy he wanted to wrestle. Now, it's widely known that Kurt Angle wrestled Baron Corbin in his last match. It's not the match he wanted. It's not the match that any of us wanted. Because a lot of us hate Baron Corbin. I no longer hate Baron Corbin. I actually like Baron Corbin. He's one of the safest guys to work with, according to everybody that works with him. And no matter what they give him, he busts his ass to make it work. He had me rooting for him as broke-ass Corbin. I love that gimmick so much, and he made it work. He was getting over as a babyface. It was working. And then they made him win in Vegas, and he became Happy Corbin, and it fucked it up. Then he went down to NXT and he's tagging with Braun Breaker. Changed his name to Bronson Steiner, for fuck's sake. Braun Breaker is the Wolf Dogs, and they're beating the shit out of people, and he's having a run down there, and it's been good. And he's been great. Not the point. The point is, Kurt Angle wanted to wrestle John Cena at WrestleMania because John Cena's first match was against John Cena, and he went through the honors to give John Cena his win back and go out against the guy that he gave him his first match on television. Would have made sense, but he was in a feud or storyline with Baron Corbin. And according to what he said, Vince said, "Can you wait a year? Because if you can wait a year, we can build it up and give you that match. But we can't do it this year because you're in this program with Corbin that we've been building to this. And Kurt was like, my body, I can't go another year. So they were like, well, we can't. It's Corbin then. And Kurt is dejected. He was dejected. He was sad about it. But he went out and he did the honors the way he was supposed to. And the way you're supposed to. He did it the right way anyway. Because Kurt's a fucking professional. So for Darby Allin to call him a little bitch, fuck you, dude. You're a wannabe Johnny Knoxville dollar store Bam Margera. You're an idiot. And every time you open your mouth, you prove it as far as something where you're not talking in storyline. You prove you're a fucking idiot. Fuck you, Darby. You dumb prick. Anyway. Also note, the spot was also stupid because that glass went everywhere and it could have hit someone in the fucking eye. Moron. Every time, again, I don't want to bash, that's the only thing in the match I didn't like. But that stupid shit. Everything else was fine. But that stupid spot, it was just dumb. What the fuck was the point? Why? Why? There was no reason for it. It did nothing. It added nothing to the match. All it did was Darby did something stupid again. Well, and in other news, water is wet. If he's not saying something fucking stupid, he's doing something fucking stupid. 'Cause he's stupid. And you can't fix stupid. You can only sit back and wait for it to cripple itself, which is probably going to happen. I thought he died last night. Because he didn't move for a solid 7 minutes. After that spot. I'm I think he finally killed himself. We just saw somebody die on pay-per-view. And they couldn't cut it like they did when Owen fell. Fuck. So... Anyway, that's all I've got for this one. But in all seriousness, Sting, you're probably never going to see this. But as someone who's been a fan of yours pretty much 99% of my wrestling watching life, thank you for the memories. Thank you for being awesome. And you thank you, Sting. That's all I got to say about it. Thank you. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other, everybody. Peace.